go. 2, 1, 0. Alright guys, welcome to now Free versus fOrGG. fOrGG took the first match. This is going to be on Byzantium 2 once again. It looks like we have Free starting in the bottom left-hand corner as the brown Protoss. Bottom right-hand corner, we have fOrGG as the orange Terran. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks again to everybody. I'm sorry, red Protoss. Man, I've been terrible with the colors on the spot tonight, and live nonetheless. Usually, it's like if I can do it off a recorded video, it's like no problem. But if it's live, yeah, my vision goes blurry. Maybe it's because it's 4 a.m. too. Anyway, Free has been playing well lately, but not to the level we saw him play in general over his prior tournaments, I would say. Dragon himself, but yeah, for a while I thought he was the guy to beat. I thought he was going to end up taking down, I think it was the MSL Championship, but then just getting stymied, just kind of just not playing up to his top abilities. One of those guys that a long time ago I thought he was just kind of one of those scrubs, one of those guys who's just going to make it to the round of 16 time and time again, but was never going to be able to get past that point, just because he kept losing to Savior, losing to the other players. But but yeah, just over the last time period, he just really picked up his level of play. I think he really deserves the title of Dragon. But yeah, against fOrGG he was looking somewhat lackluster. So the question is, which Free shows up? And I think if Free's playing at his top level and fOrGG's playing at his top level, I think Free will beat him, honestly. fOrGG, though, of course, has an MSL championship of his own, wants to take another one down. I think a lot of people overlook him, really. And keep in mind, when he went through, he took out a Terran, a Zerg, and a Protoss. So Zerg in the final, of course, Jaedong, the Jaedong, and all three of them were no slouches. I'm trying to remember who the Terran and the Protoss he went through, but yeah, doing it through pure streak, so you can't say, well, oh, he's only good against a single matchup. I think he ended up, I'm trying to remember who he ended up cheesing to get into the finals, and everybody thought it was just going to be a throwaway game, but ended up beating Jaedong in the long run. So anyway, in this match, it looks like we're just going to see a standard opening here from Free, standard opening here on the opposite end from fOrGG, getting that secondary down and starting to mine gas right away. As the barracks on the way, neither player sending a scout out at this stage. And on Byzantium 2, which again I feel like it rewards that early aggression, and we'll see if we'll see a 15 gate from Free. I think that is one of those, again, it's one of those builds that tends to be popular just because you have that inverted ramp and that early range can help you out a lot. And wow, everybody voting in favor of Free at this stage. 73%, even though he's down a game, and it looks like we are going to see a 15 gate here. So 2 gateways, early Dragoon pressure on Byzantium. I think people might be voting a little bit more for the map rather than just for the matchup. Again, just because that 15 gate just so strong on this Terran versus Protoss, even though it's statistically just about even. I think this build is just very strong in the mid game, and I'm surprised that Terran don't lose more often as a result. A lot of this is going to come down to scouting, though, whether Free can get that pressure in along that corner. And then also, again, it's going to come down to what fOrGG does to counter it. So fOrGG getting that factory down. Let's see if he's only got that single SCV, so it looks like he's going to go for an expansion. Otherwise, both players going to scout each other last, so counterclockwise and a clockwise scout respectively. So playing into the dark up to this point. But yeah, fOrGG getting that machine shop down. Looks like he's just going to produce that standard 4 Marines and that tank. And he hasn't produced anything out at that front base to really provide any sort of buffer. And his front door is completely open. So honestly, I think these Dragoons should be able to get a lot of damage. And especially against these Marines in the single tank, they should be able to pick that tank off. Maybe go into the bonus here. It looks like he's going to be able to scout off at this stage as soon as that first Dragoon's being produced. It looks like it is headed the right direction. So yeah, it looks like that range should be finished momentarily. Second Dragoon holding up a little bit. That's not going to create too much delay. Now the Marines pushing up. The one thing about the early Dragoon pressure is if those Marines can get up and just engage a single Dragoon at a time, they're much more successful. Looks like 5 Marines being produced. They're not sure which. Oh, we're going to try to deny that scout coming in. And it looks like they might be able to. Almost able to sneak through, but not quite. And machine shop down. Tank should be produced momentarily. So at least Free will have that early tank to deal with this. It looks like he's going to have a good amount of Marines also. So anticipating this a little bit, he's got the 6 Marines and that tank, so a little bit of micro going to come down to this. And if Free, honestly, if he doesn't do a lot with this 10-15 gate, he is going to be somewhat economically behind. Usually you want to go 1 gate tech otherwise. Just and it looks like, yeah, his Dragoon split up as well, so not working out well at all. Another Dragoon looks like trying to surface around that other edge. That's a lot of Marines. Actually, it looks like they're going Dragoon hunting here. So a lot of Marines being produced and almost an excess to deal with that, and it looks like fOrGG is going to have no trouble holding his secondary. So, and he might even get aggressive here and decide to push. I can't imagine him doing that though. especially with those Dragoons looming outside of his base. 4 Dragoons hanging out there. Let's see if they go up for a snipe, and a single Zealot being produced after seeing all of those Marines on that front door. And now, yeah, looks like fOrGG is actually going to push forward. He's got that second tank produced, almost doing some sort of kind of, I'm not sure what to call this rush, because it's not really a fake double, but kind of just a straight tank push. 2 tanks and a lot of Marines free, just kind of completely cycling backwards. And now the secondary going down for fOrGG, so the fake double, but kind of modified with the a lot of Marines and additional tanks. I guess it's kind of just simply because of the way the map's designed. And 2 Zealots, it looks like 3 Dragoons, 4 Dragoons actually, so fOrGG needs to be a little bit careful, otherwise his entire attack force is going to get wiped out, and he's not going to really have anything to defend otherwise. And that tank looks like it's going to get picked off, so 1 tank picked off. It looks like that Vulture was also picked off, and that was going to be the defensive mines otherwise. So it looks like fOrGG getting a little bit too aggressive, overextending himself, and he's going to get both his tanks. I think he's going to lose both his tanks. No, wow, the tank gets out just in time thanks to the Marines able to pick off that Dragoon right as that last Dragoon was taking a shot. Nice micro on fOrGG to save his last tank with just a sliver of health. Looks like a Zealot going to go the long way around to try to sneak in and do some damage, but it looks like some mines have been planted as well as some siege tanks. But Free can do a wind around. He's still got more Dragoons coming up. With that single Zealot, he should be able to clear those mines. And we'll see fOrGG, it looks like, ooh, very nicely able to pick off that, and that mine going off, doing a little bit of damage. We'll see some counter mines going up, but Free can still do a push here if he micros this just right, because keep in mind that 1 tank still damaged. I think there's only a single factory down. He did micro that very well, and yeah, he's going to be able to deny this secondary. All sorts of SCVs off the line in the transfer to try to repair everything it can. There are 2 tanks, but 5 Dragoons on the outside, but the Dragoons holding up. I'm surprised they haven't pushed down. Now they're pushing down, and yeah, hitting that secondary. All sorts of SCVs off the line. Another Marine getting picked off. And honestly, I think fOrGG would be best off just lifting off this command center and waiting for siege tech to come in before continuing with this. It looks like he's not in fact going to lift it off, and Free going to push up, try to pick off a couple SCVs at distance, and a turret going up actually on that front edge, so anticipating Dark Templar, and it looks like he does have siege tank coming up right alongside, but not quite in range, and another Zealot running up with another Dragoon. So Free investing a lot into this. He still hasn't got his expansion up, so fOrGG, it looks like he is just coming online now actually, but equal in bases means he's behind, losing 2 Dragoons right there, a little bit carelessly pulled out a little bit too late. But Free at least able to take out a couple of those units early. I still feel like fOrGG is in a very good position. He has that secondary up, he has that security, he has siege tech. Free has that OBS to come out and provide a little bit of support, but even on bases, let's see if Free at this stage decides to swing and take another expansion on the cheap. An armory going up in the background, not a lot of factories down otherwise, so an engineering bay and an armory going down before an additional factory. It looks like a lot of tanks out there on that perimeter. We'll see what fOrGG is up to in the next match. It almost looks as though he's posturing to take another quick expansion. Citadel of Adun down to produce maybe some Dark Templar, also get some Arbiter tech out into the mid game. Doesn't look like Free is going to go for another quick expansion. Otherwise, he would be cutting back a little bit of this tech or a little bit of Dragoons, and it looks like he's still cycling troops to that front door. Got a good amount of Dragoons in a kind of a contained position. Maybe thinking about just trying to continue to deny that mineral only, and another gateway going up on that front. So he's got those 3 gateways down. He's also teching up. Might be going for a Dark Templar drop along the backside, but with all those turrets on the way, I can't see that being successful. Maybe he's just going to do a quick 2-base tech to Arbiters and just try to play the contain game, and running up a little bit carelessly here with this Dragoon force, running into all sorts of siege tanks, and that bunker also in the way. And honestly, this is a ridiculous attack from Free in my opinion. I can't see this being successful with any degree of micro. Those SCVs able to get in the way, and the entire Dragoon force wiped out except for a single Dragoon otherwise, and 2 Dragoons just trying to, it looks like they're going to try to take that turret down, and honestly that's not going to last for long, and 3 Dragoons otherwise. So that was, wow, I can't believe Free committed to that. And not getting a lot done otherwise. An Observer able to sneak in, but yeah, Free sacrificing, what was that, 5-6 Dragoons just to stop mining for a moment, and that's really not going to get it done. It does look like he's going to do that quick switch to Arbiters, but even putting down 2 more gateways as well. But even with that quick shift to Arbiters, you need to keep your Dragoons alive, because Arbiters don't do everything for you. So